I would say what helps us stay honest. I think for me as the wife in our relationship, I don't know if you can relate to this, Sonia, but I know. In the same way, like, he knows. If something's off in our connection, I know.
Yeah.
He knows. And so being faithful actually to, like, the discernment that the Lord's put in my life for the covenant that he established.
Yes.
And just and recognizing that honesty for me is actually also being faithful to the Lord, you know, protecting our marriage. So the outworking is just like, hey, sometimes it's just like, hey, something's going on with you. So like sometimes I can tell if our conversation isn't flowing a certain way, or, you know, because we're celebrating 10 years this month. So I'm like, we've been together long enough to where I can tell. So it's just sometimes just being curious, staying curious in your relationship.
Yes.
I'm like, hey, what's in your head right now that you're not saying out loud?
Yes.
And then just being okay with, if he has to get gut honest, being okay with that. But not being afraid to show, like, oh, if that affects me, I might cry about that. That's okay. And him not being afraid of those tears and going through that. So for us early on in our marriage, we got help. I'll say that pretty early on, which we're big fans of.
Absolutely.
To get some tools on how to communicate. We had a foundation of honesty because our relationship was not like the yellow brick road to the, you know, altar. It wasn't like, oh, yay, this is so easy, this is so great. Like, this is beautiful. Yeah. It was hard to get there. So I think that was a gift. So there were some things in our first year of marriage that our friends struggled with that we just didn't, because we had dealt with things prior to getting married, or issues prior to getting married that established lines of communication that our friends were having to establish in the first year of marriage.
Wow.
And I find that I am so grateful for our process. And I know that the Lord's hand was in it because of what we were doing at the time, which we were already pastoring in those first years. But really, it's just staying faithful, I feel like, to being curious about, you know, leaning into my discernment. I'm like, something's going on for you. He might just tell me, I feel tired today. Oh, that's totally great. Now I know you're tired. I can reorient our life to help make sure that you're cared for and that you're resting. And sometimes he's like, oh no, I'm carrying something heavy, but I'm not ready to talk about it yet. Okay, that's fine. I can respect that. But when you're ready, we can talk.